So now I can officially start this meeting and welcome you all here. I'm Doug Jones, the chair of the Vancouver Island chapter of CARP, and welcome to our hybrid chapter meeting here at St. Elizabeth's Church in Sydney. And for those of you who are watching simultaneously online, as well as those who will be watching on the YouTube recording afterwards. So this is our November the 13th meeting. Just to let you know, our next meeting won't be until January the 15th. I'll say that again at the end. So we acknowledge and respect the many First Nations of Vancouver Island and the Canadian Gulf Islands of the Salish Sea, on whose traditional territory CARP Vancouver Island chapter operates, and their peoples, whose historical relationship with the land continue to this day. Just a few housekeeping items. If you're online, let us know where you are. Put your name and where you're located in the chat box. And you can enter questions there as well, or you can raise your hand to ask a question later. I would hope that both those in person as well as those online hold their questions until the end, so that we can make sure we get an opportunity for everybody to ask a question, and make your question brief so that we can get as many questions in as possible. I think that will be great. This is being recorded, as you just heard. The recording will be available on YouTube. It takes about a week to get it on. And if you look at our Facebook page, you'll see the information as to where to find it. And you can listen to it as well again if you missed something. We'll try to keep the meeting on time and end at 3 o'clock, which we promised we would do. But we will have a time for questions and answers at the end. So our speaker today is Alan Perry. Many of you know Alan, tech tutor from CFAX 1070. And he has been as well a resource for a number of people on the island when they're looking for advice, as well as some help with some of their computer aspects. And we'll hopefully get into some of that a little later. This topic today is staying safe online. And as you probably are well aware, with repeated news stories out there about scams and all the issues that are coming up. Recently, the Taylor Swift scams that many of you may have heard of, but also there have been a couple of other recent ones that have just come out in the last couple of days. And I think those are extremely important to be relevant at the present time. I first heard Alan give a talk to the Provost Club here in Sydney at the Winspear Center about 2 years ago. And I was very impressed with both the amount of knowledge he has, as well as the information he could provide. And we have some of that, which we'll put on the website as well online afterwards.
So I can give you a test and you'll get it all right?
Never. I am a senior after.
Me too.
That's it. Anyway, so with that brief introduction, I'd like to welcome Alan to talk about those issues for us. We're going to move the camera so that those online can see the screen, because Alan brought his own screen. And then we'll have a chance to set that up for later. So I'll stop sharing now. And
You put tape on that way?
So you've got a square. That's it. Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
So I think everyone can see that now. I'll turn it over to you, Alan.
Very much. Hi to everyone that's online as well. Oh dear, this guy's the press the wrong button here. So see, we all have our own technology issues here. So see if that works. There we go. And make sure this all works. And that should give us a black screen. It does. And got it. There. And there. Oh, it's doing subtitles for me. Well, that's a new feature with subtitles. But are hard to hear. I've never seen this before. So see how we get to learn something new as well. Slideshow. There we go. Thanks for joining. We're using a hybrid meeting, so you see we all have to learn this stuff at the same time. And I go next. Okay. So to stay safe online, you have to stay current. So you sound like a pretty polite bunch, but I just want you to say the answer to the question out loud. What color is a yield sign?
Yeah.
Like that, right? Well, it's not. It's actually that. But that's not the problem. Because you see, we changed from that to that. And then 5 years later, when we went bilingual, we took away the word yield and we changed to that. The same as every other country in the world. Now, remember what I said, for those that just joined the Zoom meeting, I was saying, you're not numb. You remember what you were told. You just ingrain that into you. And if you're thinking, no, I'm making this up, it's not true. There's a few pictures for you. Honestly, 1971 was the last time. That's how we get in trouble with security as well, because we remember what we used to do, and then we miss the fact that stuff has changed. So as Doug said, this stuff changes literally every week. I'm putting new scams that I find every week. So the current most common ones we're going to start with is device or account problem. Packages that can't be delivered. Buy Amazon gift cards for me, please. I'm in the hospital. Pay a fine or a ticket online so you don't have to go to courts. We're sending you an e-transfer or a refund. Or here's a receipt for something you didn't order. Or the one we talked about, the disgusting. So let's start with this. So the idea of putting these up on the screen is so that you can see the bad stuff before it appears on your computer, but if it does, you'll know what to do. So this is the most common one. You get something like this. In real life, the windows are flashing at you. This nice female British voice that says, your computer is severely corrupted. It's important. You're going to lose everything if you don't call this number. Do not turn off the computer. That's just one example. Okay. If you look at the address at the top, you just got tricked into going to the website. You meant to go to the Times College, so you filled out Pumpkin Pie, and you ended up here. And you'll see your browser is even warning you that it's an unsafe website. But you're focused on the flashing symbols and all that. Okay, there's another one. You're going to see that they all have something in common. There's a phone number that they want you to call. And it doesn't matter whether you're on Windows or on a Mac. Look where that one's coming from. Where would that be? Russia. WRU is Russia. A lot of them are overseas. And you can quite often tell that they will tell you that you're all 800. They'll still call us on so you know they're overseas. They'll call it on is an overseas thing. It's a simple solution. Restart your device. That's it. It should disappear. On computers like Windows 10 or 11, when you restart your device and open your browser, it'll say restore pages, Microsoft Edge, close it. No, take you back to the back page and you have to do it again. You just click on the X in the corner and carry on with whatever else you were doing. They tricked you into going to somewhere you did not want to go. Recipes is a huge one. News articles is another huge one. When you put your mouse on a Windows or computer, when you put your mouse on top of the lid, when you click it, it says, here's where we're going. Say this one. On an open iPad or an Android board, you can hold your finger on the button. You've got a pop-up that says, here's where we're going to go. Do you want to go there? Doesn't even need to. I don't think so. Things like that. Here's one that came in yesterday. This was from Pat just down the road in Central Santa. We were there doing other stuff. I'll blow it up for you so you can see it. We've noticed irregular activities on your BMO client card. To avoid any authorized transaction, your card starting in 551029 is being restricted for quick resolution. Before I show you the link they want you to click on, very smart. All BMO client cards start with 551029. So it makes you think, oh, must really be real because they got my card. Notice they give you the starting numbers, not the ends. And this is where they want you to go. BMO-Mobi-Card 1. It expects 50 foods, not 50 foods. For these foods, but no. And if you were to go there, I did this literally right here. It takes you to this page and it says select all the squares with buses. And I did. And it takes you to there. All they want you to do is put in your card number and password. Look at the address. BMO hyphen multi hyphen card one BMO index. Okay. Now, your bank is aware of this. So even if you did put that in, and even that the right password, it would bring up a screen at the bank and they'd say, okay, now tell me your mother's maiden name. Or you have something else. The scammers are not really thinking they're going to get into your bank. They're gambling that the email address and password you're using for your bank, you're using somewhere else. Like your email or Facebook or somewhere else that they can get into and start stealing your identity. Never, never click on links in emails like these. Okay. There's another one. I am a representative from the customer support center at Outlook. We recently received 42 complaints about your email account. There are thousands of spam messages sent to your email address in the last 3 days. You can tell them using Google Translate. We require your clarification now to avoid the deletion of the email account after 48 hours. We recommend installing an antivirus program. We will choose the best one for you. Your email account is there at outlook.com. Well, no, everybody's using outlook.com. And they want you to click on search for virus. And if you do, it's going to take you to there. Where would that be? I don't know, you have to go to Zambia. Turns out that in South Africa. We'll find back today. So yeah, that would just take you to a website in South Africa. They just want you to give them your address and cost. There's the one from Shaw. This is just down the road. Okay. Dear user, attention, your account will be closed today if you fail to update within 24 hours. I'm going to use the link below to update now. .io. Where in the world would that be? Australia, I've given them high-speed internet because a lot of them are going to go underwater to global warming. And that's where it takes you if you clicked on it. Stop. See if you spot two different things about that. First of all, link EE Shawmail. That's not webmail.shaw.ca. And they deliberately spelled password with two B's instead of a W. Try and avoid the scam text. Sneaky weasels. And then you have to. Whenever there's stuff warning you with a sense of urgency, it's the first warning sign. You must do this or the side of red, flashing bells with it. Your payment method is expired. Update your payment. If you don't, your photos and videos will be deleted. Two exclamation marks. No. After a while, it becomes a game. Okay. Thank you for trusting us. Best regards. Yes, I'm sorry. Costco, your membership has expired. Notice where it comes from? Mail-kfwf.com. So, and as part of our loyalty program, you can now extend for 1 year for free. Enjoy free shipping to send. Just click extend for free and give us your credit card information. Charles Martin, sent me this text. Netflix account on hold. Please confirm your details to avoid cancellation. Confirm profile.info. No, it's not Netflix. And if you do, it takes you to a fake Netflix page. And again, they want your email address and password because you go, why do you want my Netflix password? So you get 3 movies? Your account. It's also your shop email, or your Gmail account, or your account. That's what they're after. Never click on links in emails like these. The other one that's hitting right now, a package that can't be delivered. We're getting a lot of those. Yeah. Well, Canada Post, your package arrived at the warehouse but could not be delivered due to incomplete address information. I'll blow that up so you can see it.
The border. Your package just waiting at the border.
Notice who sent it at the very top left. Cal Dutch 3100 at outlook.com.
I'll just have to take it off. I can't.
They just want you to click on canadapost.helpfm.com, which takes you there. And they just ask you to put in your name and shipping address. I put in John Smith, 123 Any Street, etc., etc. And it says, okay. And then you just simply have to pay us $1.03. We figure, well, okay, I'll do that. No, They just want your credit card information, and you give it. Within minutes, your account will be maxed out by scam purchases. They buy stuff online using your credit card from Amazon. The card gets canceled with Amazon stuff, then they sell it online. They're organized crime in many cases. They run entire Facebook marketplace pages selling unopened boxes of stuff that they can get before your bank figures it out. Delivery of UPS package. You have one package waiting. Use your code to track and receive it. People say, oh, let's be real, it's not tracking you. Anybody want to make up a 7-digit number? And notice where that one's coming from. info@insurance.be. Where would that be? Yes, filter. And if you click on the schedule your delivery button, it takes you to a website in .fr. Where would that be? There. There's the delivery pending. There's your tracking code. Notice it's a different tracking code. And notice the address, 827-04912 TRCK P05T.com. And again, they just want $2.67. This one is from yesterday. Canada Post, they got the logo in color. Bonus points, and they go to graphic spots. We are ready to inform you that we attempted to deliver your order, but we're unable to complete the delivery. Please follow the tracking below and reschedule. And then they want you to go to track, again, a track post one. Stream USPS. In the mail, the process track due to damage to the outer package, address information is lost, cannot be delivered. Google Translate. And they're coming from numbers that are computer numbers. 780-843, they may or may not. But the USPS team, we should do a great day with an emoticon. CS would use emoticons, you know. The bottom line on this, never click on links in emails or text like this. But when I do that, people, okay, I understand, but I'm waiting for my package from company X. I ordered a quilt on. Well, then go to the tracking code in the receipt they gave you when you ordered it. And with Google and with Bing, if you just hold your finger on a mobile device on that tracking code, or on a computer, if you copy the code and paste it into the address bar, it says, oh, that's a FedEx tracking code. Here's where your package is. It's in Albuquerque. It'll be there on Thursday. But never click on a link in an email. Speaking of Amazon, this is a really frustrating one. And Canadians in particular fall for this because we are trusted. And so it starts off when you get an email. June, let's share this with you. So this is why her email address is blurred out. How are you? Just checking your notes. You shop on Amazon. Can you help order a gift item? Thank you. So June replied back and says, no, I don't. But my husband does. What can we do? Well, I'm in hospital and I've got a throat infection, so I can't talk. It's I've got a friend who's going through cancer, and I wanted for her birthday to let her know. If you get your husband to buy some Amazon gift cards for me, and when I get out, I'll reimburse him. So she said, okay. Great, I'm having a hard time getting an Amazon e-gift card for a friend's daughter who's down with cancer of the liver. Notice that the email address has changed. The scammer is now using junmiln@AOL.com. And so she said, okay, Tony will go out and get them. And he went to the store and he bought 3 $100 gift cards and came. And she said, oh, that's great. Can you send this message to the person with cancer? You are admirable for being so strong during this time of struggle. We love you lots, and your strength is an inspiration to all of us. I'm always here for you. Happy birthday. And send it to JaneEden@Outlook.com. That's the scammers created the fake email address at Outlook.com. And they wanted Tony to scratch off the cards on the back, send in the code. They would instantly be redeemed against only about $300. In this case, Tony did not go to the store. He bought them online from Amazon. So he was able to call Amazon customer service, forward this email, and he got his money back. Most people don't get their money back. If you go to a store like London Drugs or Best Buy to buy gift cards, they'll say, oh, just a minute, please. 43 on till 6, please. Means no one should come over and say, hi, just checking, why are you? And they'll say, no, you're being scammed. But some of the scammers will tell you, this is a secret. I don't want her to know. So if anybody asks you why you're buying gift cards, tell them you're buying for gifts for your relatives. They'll literally trick you into doing that. I've had literally thousands of dollars lost in clients. So never buy gift cards as a favor for someone. It's a scam. If they have the ability to email you, they have the ability to buy a gift card themselves. You think about it. Yeah. And if you really, really think, well, but this really does sound like my sister, just email back, say, glad to do that. By the way, we do want to go on vacation 3 years ago. How did we meet? Silence. It's a scam. Okay,
My phone. That phone for somebody really need you to do something for it.
but if you check the work, you can use something that says England Hospital and I have laryngitis. So if you really anticipate that, so that you can't follow. And don't email them back because they often cases, it's mostly the shot email because you can just keep getting passwords until you get it right. There's no security there. So mostly go. So if you reply back and say, hey, if you didn't have to, this is not my case. They put a thing on so that the real person won't see that email. They're going in and forward. It's a very common. This is a fairly recent one. Doug, I think you asked me about this just a few months ago. So this one is just from last week. They got the Canada logo. Their printing is a little tiny, so let me blow it up for you. The Ministry of Transportation of Canada. This is a final reminder regarding your unpaid parking ticket issued August 29th. According to our records, the ticket is not being paid. Please note, if you don't pay this, we're going to temporarily suspend your license. We're going to block your vehicle registration renewal, and we're going to take you to court. Just click on the link. And if you do, it takes you to unresolved-transports.com. Notice the typo, select your province, ton, get started. But they do have all the provinces listed there. And if you click on the BC one, it takes you to there. You can put in any license plate number you want. It will say, yes, you have a ticket. You owe us $59. It doesn't tell you where the ticket was. They just want your credit card information. They're just getting creative. Any way to get you to give them your credit card. There's a text message from this past Sunday. No, that's the one from April. There was another one this Sunday. I did redo it. Our automated speeding system has caught your vehicle doing 46 in the 30 zone. Where? Which vehicle? Oh, never mind. Visit paybc-online.com. There it is, paybc. The problem is this. That's not the real site. You can pay your tickets online here in BC and in other provinces. It's pay.gov.bc.ca. Again, they're discredited. And you think, okay, well, nobody's going to really fall for that. This is from North Van RCMP. Oh, almost $5,000. Government and law enforcement agencies will never text you about paying a fine or a ticket. If you get a ticket in the mail, if an officer gives you a ticket on the side of the road, yes, on the back of the ticket, it'll tell you how to pay it online. But they're not going to text you. They don't know their mobile number. Credit or refund? How many of you have received a credit or a refund text or email that was not real? Yeah. I wish they were real. I'm sorry. There's your Interact e-transfer from Canada Revenue Agency. Notice who's sending it. Ray Holden JGBB99 at Gmail.
Picture.
Here it is. And they just want you to click on 2024cases.com/.
It's right here. It's right here.
They know that they got the land weights, they got the water even if you did.
Right there. Take
And
it
if you
from
click on that, it takes you to revcra.com. You just select your bank, location, real bank. There it is. You just want your client card and your password. Scammers are constantly tweaking these scams based on the issues in the news. So the Canada Carbon Rebate is a tax-free amount to help eligible individuals. Just click there. 8.208.16.218. By the way, here in BC, if you do get the carbon rebate, it's credited directly into your income tax. BC, you don't have to do it. In other provinces, you go and get it. You get a thing, no. But no, you're never going to get a text about that. A lot of these things in life are gray and white, black and white. It's really simple. Okay. I actually reached out to Charles and Aidan and a few of the other people that are on the show. And I said, has anybody had a real one? Last year, you had a real email or text about something you're supposed to do. And the only one is a couple people get a message from Canada Revenue Agency saying there's a new message in your online portal, you know where to go. There's no link to go. It's just a heads up that there is a message there. You finished your reassessment or whatever, you know where to go. But no link, that's the only thing. Receipt for item or service not ordered. This is one that happens all too often. There you go. So you're getting a receipt, I'll blow it up. You're getting a receipt for $435.49. The transaction was completed successfully via PayPal. If this wasn't you, just call us at the number. Here's another one. Greetings and salutations. We really like you hope our offerings. Here's your receipt for $247.13 sent to your address in Rockland, Illinois. If that wasn't you, call us on the number. You bought an HP Office Jet Pro all-in-one inkjet printer with 13 months of instant ink. What are they up to? What's the scam here? What do they want you to do? They want you to call them up. Oh, okay, sorry, we'll refund you. No problem at all. Can we just get you to log into your bank account and you'll see the refund come through? Oh, you don't see the refund? Okay, can we share screen with you so we can see your screen? And then we'll apply for the refund together. Except they're gonna put an extra zero in there. So, oh my God, it's $247. Now we're seeing $2,460. I'm gonna get fired. You did that. I'm gonna lose my job. I got 6 weeks to be. You need to tell me that difference. Oh, you laugh. People offer this, particularly senior, because they give them the soft story. I was 16, why do you do the extra money? You should do that. No. It's a real thing, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You want to go on YouTube and search for Amazon refund scanner. There's hundreds of videos of people who go and connect with the scammers and then waste their time and then keep all this up on the computer. But they'll actually play you the real calls. This next one is disgusting. They're all nasty, but this one is particularly disgusting. You probably saw this on the news this last week. It's not new, but now they have a new one. And I talked about this with Ryan Price on CPAC, and Ryan back to me, I'll get the same email addressed to me. From I hacked you, Helen Perry 107 at peoplepc.com. So no, that's not me, but part of that. And it's a picture of my house. Look down the road there, on Third Street. So they actually take a Google Maps image of the front of your house. Hello, pervert. I've sent this message from your iCloud mail. I've included a picture of where you live so you know I know who you are. I'm not going to go through it all, but basically it says, I've recorded videos of you jerking off, excuse me, I'm highly confidential foreign videos. If you don't pay me $1,400 via Bitcoin, I'm going to post this online and send it to all your family and friends. It's nothing. But that picture at the beginning prompts them. I had a call from the lady. She goes, I've got 2 teenage kids. What do I do? You know, when you talk to them about this, even if they were doing that, you know, even if the person had to do that, I think they have a picture of my court, how your house. So it's not my teenage son. No, it's a total disgusting scam. I'm some kind of guy who sees everything. However, don't panic, you know. It's just disgusting. So with all of these scams, I see many of you nodding. You know these are scams. Some of it, but who do you know that would not be as students? Who would fall for this? When you leave here, call someone, text them, email them, hey, get them I'm showing you where it is. No on what we see them showing you. Show them those links. It's hard to shut these down. It's really good. Now, we were talking, for those on the Zoom meeting, we were talking before about house phones, home phone, and this is the other one. Stop using check. But why? We've been using them for decades. There's a quote from a very well-known Canadian security expert. We're kind of using 19th century technology colliding with our smartphones, and it's just complicated. Here's one of two reasons. Someone can use the banking app on their smartphone to deposit your check more than once. So if you pay me by check for mowing your lawn, I'll deposit it using my phone. And then tomorrow, do it again, next week, or next month, and I'll just keep on depositing the same check. Security expert says it's cheaper for banks to ignore the gap in mobile banking system. So it's up to you to spot the fact that the window cleaner deposited the check twice or 3 times. Except if it's an actual scammer, they might deposit the check twice and then close their account after they took out the money. So when you go to the bank, they'll say, oh, but that account's closed. I'm sorry, you're out of money. They're not going to fix the system. Checks are fading away. When was the last time you used a traveler's check? Remember later in the mail saying we're getting rid of traveler's checks? No. You actually got a letter. You still use traveler's checks?
No,
Oh.
I have.
Yeah. But you didn't get a letter in the mail saying we're not doing them anymore. We just,
I have to send them.
yeah, did you get the money back? Yeah. You can send them off if you want to get the money back. Yeah. It's just the change in technology. And when you think about it, a check is a piece of paper with stuff written on it. Not money. Not like it was made by a Royal Canadian bill. You know, and if you go to that, listen to you reference three checks, they go, okay, you can get 117. So they're really not secure, but that's only half of it. Because if you did pay me a check, there is my Peninsula Co-op. We have electric car houses, we're not gonna get much for it anymore. There's my check made payable to me for $157.57. I deposited that using the RBC app on my phone. And then I changed it. Those are payable to now. And notice I added $1,000. So if you were to give me a check and I was unscrupulous, I could do that. And if you don't believe me, the next time somebody is giving you a check, making sure it's the right amount, just ask them to make it payable to Mickey Mouse. It goes right here. It's not that big. You know, why would you spend all the time and money? You used to have to put the check in an envelope, deposit it in that machine, and then one day you went there and said, hey, no more envelope. It stands right there in front of you. That's the money to your account. You say, oh yeah, but when it clears, they'll catch it. No, they won't. It'll go right through. They just check to make sure that money is in the account. So I sent this to the folks at Peninsula Co-op. And I said, you put up big signs at the gas station saying $6.7 million in rebates going in our account. Maybe you should start sending them by e-transfer because it's going to figure this out. You're not going to watch this. And where this all started for me was a fellow that helped with his email transition. And he wanted me to make that, and I slipped this to him. Before the one about the double billing and everything. And I said, checks are not very secure. He wanted it. And I said, oh, you know, they were. And he goes, well, I used to work for TD Bank. And I was one of the people that developed a little gold foil stripe right across the check. And my team made it so if you tried to photocopy a check, it said, boy. And they go, that was great technology. But I don't go to the bank anymore to deposit your check. So I recorded a video in case they caught us to say, hey, we're doing a test here. Used to work for TD Security. So we're recording a video on me doing the forgery. He's making the check payable to Mickey Mouse for $77.50. And I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna change it to $75. You know what? Now I'm gonna do us. And I did, and he did that, and he said, they're gonna catch it. But I said, okay, I'll come back next week. It cleared right through. And then I said, Fred, here's the check for $7,500. So I said, all the work you did back in the 70s and 80s with that anti-counterfeiting stuff and everything, that was great. Back in the days of abacus and gold coins around your neck, and all the symbols to tell which was real and what's not. But the technology has changed. So please, 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 security measures used in the past are no match for modern technology. I'll use my phone. Siri, open RBC Mobile. Open RBC Mobile. Ask to see my face. Okay, so you can't leave my life down. The child can see my face to do it. There it is. I'm in my bank account, and if you gave me a check, I go to the big yellow button at the bottom, and I go to deposit a check. It says take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back, make an email, take an account, and deposit. It's that simple. But then I'll deposit again tomorrow. And sometimes by accident, where this all started was a lady in Gordon Head. She called me up, she goes, I think I've been hacked. Okay, I hear about it, I'll stop by. And a check is being deposited twice. And with I haven't been here this month. The month, it's been $109 to the tax every month. He hasn't been here, it's not coming until next week. So I said, well, what's me? He answered, he said, oh my God, I'm sorry. What's your January check? I found it under the desk on the floor when I was cleaning at home. And normally I write e-deposit on the back. The guess I'm home, so I thought I'm going to deposit it. So I deposited it. I'm so sorry. How about when I'm there next week? I just don't charge. And she goes, okay, no problem. And then she called back, why did you let that go through? I said, well, why not? Well, there's a number on the check. This is check 107. She goes, we haven't looked at that for 2 years. So what do? Use Interact e-transfers to send and receive money within Canada. Okay. It should not cost you. Some banks do. Ask them, say, how much did you do this? Turn on auto deposit. So that way you don't have to worry about getting an e-transfer button that says pick your bank, put in a security question. It might not be real. That's one of the common scams with political. Those are letting you show once a week. There's a lady at Facebook Market and so on. And she got that. Turn on auto deposit. So all you do is get an email or a text that says $87.29 is being deposited to your account. Nothing for you to do. No security. Ideally, have the person that's sending you the money send it to your mobile phone number. Because the only way I can get your mobile phone number is to get your phone. Physically take your phone and figure out how to work. With your email address, I might trick you into nothing. Somebody might trick you into giving up your email address. And if there's no auto deposit, then you can intercept the coming in once and send it off. We had a carpenter up in City, and we paid the lady or the lady paid him for the work. He never got the money because his email got intercepted, and somebody had been forwarding on an email. So somewhere in Spain, they intercepted that transfer and logged the their account, and she paid the money. But he just had to eat the loss because she did pay the money. And she did pay it to the right address. She emailed me that he was using that. So that's on your bigger. If you need to send international transfers, that's where you use PayPal. Wire transfers are really complicated and expensive. PayPal takes about 2.3%. So if you need to send, $1,000 to somebody in Spain, that will be the way to do it. The internet is an incredibly powerful tool, but as within anything good, there are going to be bad things. When people started getting high on pots, instead of working in addition to driving, we didn't say we're something your cars off together. We just have to show the rules on how to catch drivers that are on as well as drunk. Online scams all have one thing in common. It makes it really easy for you to spot them. What happens when we wave a red tape in front of the bull? It will charge you. The bull always charges. It never learns. So sometimes it's the end of its life. It's always going to charge. There's no way to keep the bull not to charge in a red cape. Don't be a bull. That's why you're here. Those of you online, I love this quote from Robert Gallagher. Change is inevitable except for abandonment. So here's the bottom line, especially those of you on Zoom, if you came in late. If you get a text or an email or a screen pop-up, or a phone call that urges you to do something, such as a problem with an account, or a tip you need to pay, or a package we can't deliver, or here's a refund, or a receipt for something we didn't order. It's really simple. Don't call. Don't click or tap. It's a scam. I do the Tech Talk Show live every Saturday from 10 till noon. I love it when people call in or text or email. We repeat it on Sundays. It's available as a podcast at any time. If you want to make a note of this, if you don't have it bookmarked, tech-talk.ca. You can also just do a Google or Bing search for it. All of these things that we've been talking about, when you go to the homepage, you'll see common scams to avoid. There's about 50 of them right there. This weekend, there will be a couple more that I'm gonna add. So there'll be comments, if you get, you spot them with scam, read them to me, you've never seen it before, and I'll go, oh yeah, that's it, not me. Or, oh, we'll put that in the show notes, we'll talk about it, we'll warn you. So tech-talk.ca. There's also a separate page there for tips and solutions, things that we get asked a lot. If you're going traveling, travel tech tips. If you just updated an iPhone or an iPad to iOS 18, I put all the new features there. And then our favorite. Okay, we'll come back up front.
There we go. Okay. So all of you who had your cameras, I turned you off so we could see the screen. You can turn your cameras back on.
So we'll take turns between people in the room and people on Zoom.
Yeah, so I think we need to get a question here from people online first.
Yes.
Well, they're having trouble with the sound probably because you're back there.
Sorry.
Didn't get anything else. Okay, so
On Zoom, if you've got any questions, you can text them or raise your hand and Doug will do that. In the room here. Yes.
I recently received an email saying that my Gmail account will close from lack of use and it'll be closed by December 2024.
Yeah, so she got an email saying her Gmail account is going to be closed from lack of use. So do you use your Gmail address?
Sometimes
Okay, so all you have to do
is logged in.
and send yourself an email.
It's real.
It is, well, it could be real. Who sent the email? What was the address that sent you the email? Okay, if you get a knock at the door saying there's a flood in the street, or more accurately, you get a knock at the door from a fellow in a t-shirt and jeans. He goes, hi, Sydney RCMP, I want to come in and check for burglars. What's the first thing you're going to say? Can I see your badge and photo ID? So if you get an email telling you there's something you need to do, who are you? What's the address that sent it? You saw all those addresses that I showed you from those real looking emails. As soon as you see the address, you go, wait a minute, that's .cn, that's China. Or that's an address at outlook.com. Google wouldn't be sending me the address at Outlook. Or at talktalk.net in Britain. That's your first clue. Whenever you get an email that says you need to do something, check to see the address, not the name. I can say I'm the King of England, but when you click on it, it'll give you the email address and you, oh, that's your first clue.
And what's for spelling error?
okay, we have a question from online first from Ted saying, do cameras ever get caught and how?
Yes. So Interpol is very active in catching scammers. They work with Apple and Microsoft and Google. Microsoft has an entire center in Redmond, Washington called MCERT, where they go to great lengths. So when we report these scam emails to them, they try to trace them. They try to trace down the IP address, and then they say, okay, that's coming from that lady's house. Let's go knock on her door. Well, she left last week because it wasn't a house, it was a warehouse, and there was 100 computers there. So they keep moving. They make so much money with these scams, they can afford to move. But there's a really dedicated group of volunteers out there. They're called white hatters, and they try to trace them and expose them. There's entire office buildings in Bangalore in India. There'll be one real office, and the other 300 offices are all call centers and scammers. The government knows exactly where they are. Why doesn't the government of India crack down on them? Because those scammers are putting billions of dollars into the Indian economy. They're employing hundreds of people. And in third world countries where the government is trying hard to keep the lights on and keep the people fed, they are under the impression that we carry $3,000 cash in our pocket, so we wouldn't notice it if we lost 400. That's what they're told. So to them, it's not a big priority to crack down on those because they're employing a lot of people and feeding a lot of people. And those people honestly think that we're not going to notice 500 or $1,000 missing. So yeah, they do get caught and they get put away. The problem is it would be like catching all the people in this room when Doug's the one that's paying us. So putting you away isn't going to help. We need to find the Doug, and we need to find the person that's paying Doug to rent the warehouse and set this all up. So it's complicated, but yeah, they get them. But Canada is per capita far and away the highest victim in the world because we're affluent and we're trusting. And we have a reputation for being gullible. So we want to change that. We love how people think of Canada. That's not one part of Canada that we want them to think of. Yeah, really good question.
The question in the back?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
You mentioned more than once, Shaw, and your concerns, but you haven't expressed, I don't think, what your concerns are about the Shaw. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Sure. So the lady's asking about Shaw. So Rogers now owns Shaw. The email service at shaw.ca is not a secure service. I can go to webmail.shaw.ca, and if I know your email address, I can just keep guessing the password till I get it. There's nothing that says, no, you've tried too many times. We're going to block you now. They don't do that. The email service is done through Zimbra collaboration software in Texas. Shaw got rid of it, doing it themselves about 5 years ago. It's the smallest mailbox in North America. It's not super secure, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And if you go traveling outside North America, it doesn't work. You have to use webmail. You can't get it on your phone or tablet or your email. They're going to pull the plug on it. We thought they would have done it by now, but they're busy still trying to transfer the accounting system. Those of you that are on Rogers TV internet, if you've noticed, you're still paying Shaw. They haven't figured out how to transfer. They said to the credit card companies and banks, can you please just transfer all the people paying Shaw to paying Rogers? The banks and credit card companies said, no, you need to get them to stop paying Shaw and start paying Rogers. And they said, but we bought the company. They said, that's nice. We don't know how much they owe you. You get them to cancel the Shaw payment and put auto payment on Rogers. And they don't have the people to do that because they laid them all off as part of the buyout. So now they're putting together a team that's going to reach out to everybody individually and say, hey, can we help you transfer? They can't send you a letter and say you have to do it yourself because otherwise you wouldn't know how to do it. And then they'd stop making the money and they can't afford that. They can't afford the loss of cash flow. Yes. So the answer to the question about the email is, please, if you're on at shaw.ca, get me or somebody to help you get off before they pull the plug. It's coming. And we don't know how much warning they're going to give you. There's no law that says they have to give you a year or 6 months. We're guessing they'll probably say 90 days. And then you got to reach out to all the companies and the doctor's offices and the utilities and Amazon.
a comment that maybe you can comment on as well. It says, please remind everyone that they should regularly, weekly or bi-weekly, log into their bank, investment, and credit card accounts to see if any unusual activity has been going on.
How many people here do not look at their account online? Do not look online. Good. Just a couple of you. Okay. Because here's what's happened, and this is frustrating. There's so much fraud, the banks and the credit cards are looking for any excuse to not pay you back if you get scammed. So they have borrowed a technique that came from the United States. Fraud is only fraud if you report it within 30 days. So let's just say your statement is printed on the first of the month, and then it gets mailed out to you, and you get it on the 6th. And you open it that very day, Canada Post goodwill. So let's say that there's a scam that happens on the 2nd of the month. That will show up on your next month's bill. which will then, you will get it 7 or 8 days later, and you go, wait, that's $2,500 on my credit card. I didn't do that. And you call the number on the back of your card and they go, oh, wait, that's 38 days. You didn't tell us within 30 days. I'm sorry. So fraud is only fraud if reported within 30 days. So please, you don't have to do online transactions if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable. I would encourage you to get comfortable, get one of your friends to teach you. But please, yes, please log in, whether on an app, ideally, or on your computer, and check to see if there's anything untoward, at least every week or two. Because I've written 5 letters this year so far for clients who lost money over the 30-day period. 4 out of the 5, we're waiting for an answer on the 5th from Bank of Nova Scotia. 4 out of 5, they said, yes, you're a longtime customer. We will give you the money back, but you need to sign this statement saying you understand that we're doing this as a goodwill gesture and we are not legally obligated. And this is a one-time offer to this. So yeah, 4 out of 5, I'm fairly confident we'll get 5 out of 5. But you don't want to go down that because it tends to be amounts that are small.
Okay. It's in the back here.
And then over there, yep. Hi, yep.
Again, personal experience. We don't call a legal scam. Something that dances on the edge. Just one example out of a few, Maria Duval scam. Probably there is no such person. It originated in Australia, it's moved around, and they will sell you worthless trinkets, cloths,
Yes.
numbers, etc. And they don't press you saying you have to do it. They're not going into your bank account. They're getting small amounts of money over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I keep selling you this stuff. They tell you stories. Like here's a story of a person
Yeah.
didn't get the lucky numbers before and their daughter died. Cancer. Like legal in quotation.
Yes. They're skirting the law, they're playing with your heartstrings. And you think, why would you do that? You got $2.47 on me. Yeah, but if you multiply that by 100 or 1,000, and you're in Indonesia working in the salt mine trying to come home alive, and now there's this thing you can do on your computer, and all of a sudden, my God, you can move to Turkey and start a new life. It literally is that good.
Sure, and that's where you need a good person who you can check with your.
Yeah. So please feel free to reach out to someone you know. You sound like you'd be a great person. So anybody knows, reach out, but feel free to reach out to me and say, hey, I got this. Ask somebody and tell your kids and grandkids, I need you to help teach me with this stuff. Don't say, Dad, you're being stupid. It's obviously a scam. I'll smack you upside the head if you do that. But just say, hey, this sort of has me. What am I missing here? And then they'll start to show you. I think one of the things I'm hoping you've taken away from this is checking the email address of where things come from and seeing a lot of those. But yeah, there are a lot of other dubious ones out there. There's another one where you get a call from your phone company, your mobile phone company, and they offer to give you a new phone at a really good deal. And you go, talk it over, and you're going to talk to your son. He goes, yeah, that sounds like a good deal, Dad. You should go for that. And they say, okay, we're going to courier you the new phone. If you don't like it, you can send it back within 2 weeks, no cost whatsoever by law in Canada. You get the phone and it comes with a bill that's way higher than what you had agreed to. They said it was going to be $15 a month. It's $50 a month for the phone. So you go, no, I'm doing that. So you put it back in the box and you send it back. It wasn't from the phone company. That was from a scammer. And you just sent the phone to the scammer. He ordered it on your account. So now the scammer has the phone. And now the phone company goes, I hope you're enjoying your new phone. No, I sent it back. No, you didn't. What address did you send it to? Well, this address in Surrey. That's not us. You owe us full price for the phone now. So if things seem too good to be true, or sometimes they're not too good to be true, it's what you were saying, skirting. They seem pretty good. It seems like this could be a real deal. Check it with somebody. Check it with somebody first. I've only covered, because of our clock here, I've only covered some of these. There's like 50 of them. If we go and check out the website in there. And again, they're not going to stop being scammers unless they get caught. They're just going to find other people to scam. So they'll hear something new in the news, like with all the stuff happening in the US, and there's going to be all sorts of tax cuts and things. The scammers are going to go crazy in the US because there's going to be all these changes. We're probably going to end up with, an election in here somewhere, and the government's going to offer us all sorts of goodies to get us to vote one way or the other. And so the scammers are going to start sending you things out. You're going to get holiday rebates coming from your phone company. No, if there was a rebate, it would be right on your bill. They're not going to send you a text that you have to click on. So if you get any method of communication that says you need to do something, click here, call here, do this, do that. It's a scam. It really is. Lady called me just last night. She said, my Netflix is not working. Can you help me? My sister's coming over and we're supposed to watch. Oh, shoot. I forget the name of the movie. It's a British movie. Anyway. And I said, okay, how do you know it's not working? She goes, oh, well, I got an email. My account's been locked. We said, okay, well, I know you've got your Shaw remote, your Rogers remote. Can you just press the button on your Rogers remote, say open Netflix? So it's not going to work. And I said, humor me. Oh, it's fixed. I go, no, it was never broken. Now let's look at that email. Who's the email from? Netflix. Although it's Netflix with an exclamation mark. Click on the name of oh, that's an address. That's in .hk. I said, yeah, that's Hong Kong. They just want you to give them your password. Do you use the same password for more than one place? Well, yes, because I can't remember them all. That's what they were after.
There was a question came up and it asked, comes to your comment about email. Is there an email, excuse me, that's safer than other ones or better than other ones? Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook.
Yes, we started this before the Zoom portion began. Outlook.com, which is Hotmail, Live, etc., and iCloud.com. Outlook.com is from Microsoft. iCloud.com is from Apple. Those two are very safe, very secure, and very private. Gmail is very secure, but it's not private. You're giving Google and their partners permission to read it. The one thing about iCloud is it doesn't have very good filtering for junk. And secondly, it only works on Apple devices. We can find a way to make it work on a Windows computer, but after 30 days, it'll break and we'll have to go through the whole process of custom passwords again. So if you only have Apple devices, iPhones, iPads, and Macs, iCloud is fine. If any other device you access at work or wherever, if you're retired, is Windows or Android, use Outlook.com. It's free. You will get an ad across the top. If you have Microsoft 365, which gives you Word, Excel, PowerPoint, no ads. Your capacity goes up from 15 gigabytes to 50 gigabytes. And so you're covered. Shaw is really, really weak on the security. We can just keep guessing passwords until we get it.
We have time for one more question from the audience here.
Would you suggest reporting these scams to CRA?
No, CRA. In fact, I handed out a sheet, and Doug has it for those of you on Zoom. He's going to send you a sheet. If you look at that sheet, it's where to send phishing emails. And you'll notice that CRA is not on there. They don't want them because they say we would never send you an email. So if you get any email from CRA, unless it's one that says we've sent you a message in your account, you know where to look. It's not.
But isn't there somewhere on CRA website?
No.
Reporting?
No, there's nowhere on CRA's website, and you can't forward them to Google as well. So the scam Google one, no, you have to use an online reporting form. You can't forward the email. But everybody else, and if you have one that's not on that 2-page list, I update it every week and put new ones in there as I find companies that, a new company that's getting scammed, and we do that. And they would rather get 1,000 of you reporting the same scam email than miss it. Because the scammers change the emails every week. It's like changing the color of your jacket. So yeah, feel free and send them to me. I'll put them in the show notes. But that's a really good question.
Okay, so I think at this stage to stay on time with what I said I would do for all of you. So I think in closing our chapter meeting, thank you, Alan, very much, both in all the information and light that you've given, and I will put some more information on our YouTube
Pleasure.
as well as on the Facebook page. Thank you to Melanie for helping set up Melanie's the parish office coordinator here at
Thanks, Melanie.
St. Elizabeth, and her staff for helping us set up today, and to the chapter board for their assistance, of course, in everything that we do and all their ongoing support. The session has been recorded. I will shut it off shortly. It will be available on YouTube in about a week. So mark your calendars for our next hybrid chapter meeting on January the 15th. Our guest speaker will be Darylyn Way, and for those of you who've been reading our newsletter will know Darylyn for several of the articles that she's been putting in, and she'll be talking about helping to get your affairs in order. So I hope to see you all at that meeting. More information about our meetings and information from the chapter will be in our newsletter and on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Harp Vancouver Island. And you can also email us with any questions you've got at vancouverisland@carp.ca. So again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all of those who are online. I really appreciate all the things that we've gotten from Alan today. And as I mentioned, we will put that information as well out, and have a good afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.